Right now, at the bottom of the ocean, there are cables, not metaphorically, not in the cloud. Actual physical cables sitting in complete darkness on the ocean floor. And through those cables, right now, flows $10 trillion worth of economic activity every single day. Most people have never heard of them. Most people assume the internet is wireless. Satellites, radio waves, signals flying invisibly through the air. But that last wireless hop, from your router to your phone, is just the final few meters of a journey that started thousands of miles away. On the ocean floor, there are nearly 1 million miles of submarine cables in service right now, running between almost every continent on Earth. Cables no larger than a garden hose, carrying over 95% of all international internet traffic. Every search, every transaction, every message, every streamed video, almost all of it moves through cables most people don't know exist. The first one was laid in 1850, not for the internet. The internet didn't exist yet. It was a telegraph cable. Copper wires stretched across the English Channel between England and France. It worked. Then it evolved. Copper became coaxial. Coaxial became fiber-optic in the 1980s, and fiber-optic changed everything. At the core of every modern submarine cable are optical fibers, threads of pure glass, thinner than a human hair. Dozens of them bundled together inside a single cable. Light pulses travel through those fibers, carrying data across entire oceans in milliseconds. But light weakens over distance. So every 50 to 60 miles along the cable, a device called a repeater amplifies the signal, pushing it forward, keeping it alive all the way to the other side of the world. Building these cables is one of the most complex engineering operations on Earth. The fiber gets encased in metal tubing. Steel wires are wound around it for strength. Copper is added to carry electrical current to power the repeaters deep underwater. Then plastic. Then armor. Near coastlines where cables are most vulnerable, the armor is doubled. Near the surface, where anchors drag and fishing trawlers pass, the cable is buried in a trench on the seabed. Deeper than 1,500 meters, the cable needs no burial. At that depth, nothing reaches it. When the cable is finished, it gets loaded onto specialized ships that carry thousands of miles of cable coiled in their hulls. They move slowly across the ocean, dropping cable precisely along routes planned to avoid underwater mountains, earthquake zones, and disputed territories. The entire process from planning to completion takes 2 to 4 years. Permits alone can take up to 2 years depending on how many countries the cable passes through. At each end, the cable comes ashore at a landing station, an unremarkable building sitting quietly on a coastline somewhere. No signs, no crowds, just a nondescript structure where the ocean meets the land, and where nearly all of the world's internet traffic passes through. These cables are not owned by governments, not by any single country. Increasingly, they are owned by technology companies you use every single day. Google has invested in over 30 submarine cables. Meta owns cables spanning 28,000 miles across 3 continents. Amazon, Microsoft, all of them racing to build and own the physical backbone of the global internet. Because without these cables, their data centers are just very expensive buildings sitting in the dark. And that is exactly what makes these cables a target. In 2022, an underwater volcanic eruption severed the only submarine cable connecting Tonga to the rest of the world. The entire island nation went dark. No internet, no financial transactions, no communications for weeks. In the Baltic Sea, multiple cables have been damaged in incidents that governments across Europe are investigating as deliberate sabotage. A single cut in the right place can affect internet speeds across entire regions. Multiple cuts at once could disconnect entire countries. There are an estimated 100 to 200 cable incidents every year. Most are accidental. Fishing trawlers dragging nets across the seabed, anchors dropped in the wrong place. But some experts say the line between accident and sabotage is becoming harder to read. When a ship in international waters drags a cable and calls it an accident, how do you prove otherwise? There are ships whose entire purpose is repairing these cables. They drag the ocean floor with grappling hooks, hauling cables up from thousands of meters below, splicing them back together, lowering them back into the dark. In 2023, the average time to repair a damaged cable reached 40 days. 40 days where traffic reroutes, slows down, degrades. 40 days where the vulnerability of the whole system is exposed. The internet feels instant. It feels everywhere. It feels like air. But underneath all of that, underneath every search and stream and message, there are cables, sitting quietly in the dark at the bottom of the sea, carrying the world's conversations through the deep. So next time you send a message to someone on the other side of the world, think about where it actually went, through your device, through your router, underground through your city, down to a coastline, into the ocean, along the ocean floor, up through another coastline on the other side of the world, and into the hands of the person you sent it to in less than a second. The internet is not in the cloud. It never was. It is on the ocean floor, and almost nobody talks about it.